welcome to this edition of the LPD Weekly News. Today we're going to discuss the events that occurred in your Leicester Police Department up through approximately May 20th of 2016. So without any further delay, let's begin. The first incident that the department became involved in was a recovered stolen motor vehicle. The motor vehicle that you see on your screen, the pickup truck with the crime scene tape around it, was stolen from in front of a local business establishment while the owner was in making a purchase at the business. Several days later, the vehicle was recovered over at the intersection of Route 56 and 20 in Oxford at the Shell gas station. It had been there for about a day when somebody called it in as being possibly abandoned, and the Oxford police responded, ran the plate, and determined it was stolen. The vehicle was towed back to the Leicester Police Department, where it was processed. Now, you may be asking, what do you process a motor vehicle like that for? Well, there's a very simple foundational forensic theory that we go by, and it's called Locards exchange principle. And you can see that up on your screen right now. But essentially what Locards principle says is everywhere you go, every step you take, you leave something behind and you take something with you. So there would obviously be potential fingerprints, DNA, and other trace evidence in this motor vehicle. So, from the photo you see on your screen right now, you can see that the vehicle was processed for both DNA and fingerprints. There are several lifts there, and there are several boxes containing DNA swabs. Those will all be forwarded to the lab to be evaluated as to whether the fingerprints are identifiable. There was actually DNA on the swab, and then if they either are identifiable, they will be uploaded into their respective databases for digital matching. And the next photo you see on your screen is you can actually see the door to the pickup truck, and the area that's a little bit lighter on the right-hand side is where a fingerprint was lifted. Some of the other areas that the suspect should be asking himself if he's watching this show is, did you leave your DNA on the keys or the remote starter? How about the shifter? And how about the door handles? Did you leave DNA or fingerprints at those locations? Those were processed, and if he did, hopefully we recovered it and we'll be able to identify the individual. The next incident that we're going to discuss is a minor accident where a vehicle went off the road. You can see from the first photo on your screen that there is a cruiser down the street with several vehicles. But if you look down towards the bottom of the photo, you can see where obviously the vehicle went off the roadway into one of the ruts. It continued forward, and unfortunately from the next photo on your screen, you can see it hit a cement catch basin and damaged the catch basin. That's actually town property, so the town will have to repair that and will likely be making an insurance claim. And finally, as you can see from the photo on your screen, there was some minor damage to the vehicle, no injuries, but some cost incurred. One of the more interesting cases we had during this time frame was a resident who has some cows, reported 2 of the cows missing. There was an extensive search by the cow owner and several of his assistants for many hours looking for the cows. They could not find them. We actually put the photo up so that if anybody saw the cows, they would contact us. And approximately 12 to 15 hours after they noticed the cows missing, they were found out in the woods unharmed and have been returned. And the final incident that we're going to talk about is a minor motor vehicle crash that occurred on Route 56 down by Fort Knox Storage, where a motorcycle collided or went off the road actually and struck the guardrail. You can see from the photo on your screen that the individual is back up on his feet. They're getting the motorcycle back upright. There was no injuries, and the matter remains under investigation. That concludes this edition of the LPD Weekly News, and it concludes our review of the incidents up until May 20th of 2016. We've had a very busy couple of weeks here at the Leicester Police Department, as you are probably well aware with everything that's been going on in town. We're attempting to get caught up on the LPD Weekly News. Stay in touch with us, and we'll be doing a couple of other editions as quickly as possible to bring you up to speed on what's going on in your community. Thank you. Have a good night.